burn the ships. Now, this concept is historically tied to a Spanish conquistador, a Spanish conqueror named Hernan Cortez. Now, the story goes that when he arrived into the New World, he ordered his ships destroyed. So his men had no other option but to move forward. And what that did psychologically was remove the idea, remove the illusion of retreating. Many of us today have those ships that we need to burn because it is keeping us stagnant and it is keeping us from reaching what it is that we are supposed to reach. It is our biology to find risk uncomfortable, and to worry about the randomness and uncertainties of life, of living. So whether or not the possible outcome of the risk is good, our brain does not recognize possibilities. It processes the present feeling you have and that hesitant pull you have towards that risk, towards discomfort. Most people mistake that feeling for truth, like, because if it feels wrong, it must be wrong. But that feeling is not always a warning, for you to step away from it, because sometimes it's just, the simple fact that you're stepping into something you've never done before. And that is not always a bad thing. So now you're in a constant battle with yourself, because one part of you sees what could be, and the other part of you just wants to stay where it is comfortable, where your brain, recognized it to be safe. And every time you choose that comfort, you reinforce that pattern and you just end up in the same cycle. You are telling yourself without actually saying it that this is as far as you go. That is why the ships matter, because as long as you have a way out, you will use it. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but eventually, when it gets uncomfortable enough, you will retreat. And a lot of times you won't even realize that you're doing it because you'll think that you're being realistic or smart, but deep down, you know the difference. Burning the ships is about going all in on something, passion, dreams, goals, going all in. It's you removing the constant negotiation that you have with yourself, and not giving yourself the option to quit every time something feels uncertain. Because once that option is gone, your mind changes. It makes that shift. You stop asking yourself, okay, is this going to work? And instead you start figuring out how to actually make it work. You make the way. If you're not fully decided, burning the ships will just expose that. It will show you that you were never all in to begin with. And that's why a lot of people never do it, because they're not ready to face what happens when there's no turning back. So I'll leave you all with a question to reflect upon. Are you ready to live without those ships?